New games are being released all the time. The beginning of various journeys into new worlds are started practically every day. But one thing about new games being released so often is that there's never enough time to see the conclusions of those previous stories that you put effort into kicking off. So I guess that's why I wanted to talk about how important endings are to video games. I'm assuming you already know the obvious importance of endings for stories. The basic principle of if there is a beginning, there must be an end. Which is true, but for what I'm talking about, it goes slightly deeper. Endings serve as a catharsis for the emotions and thoughts that were felt while experiencing a story. A way of letting go of that amazing story so that you can essentially move on and appreciate what it had to show. That's partly why I bothered a streamer I watch, Mother Rose, into finishing Baldur's Gate 3. And boy, did I bring it up often. She will respond by saying she's gonna get to it eventually, and even saying she didn't want the story to end because she was having so much fun with the game. Which is understandable. Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game. But just because you saw the ending to something doesn't mean it's the last time you'll ever play that game again. It can also be a path to starting that same story to see details you never noticed, or make choices you never made to experience a completely different ending. Which is, in my opinion, why some people didn't like the ending to Last of Us 2, as they might not have felt that catharsis. Because losing your ability to play a song that connects you to a loved one, and going off in search of a family that abandoned you, doesn't really feel satisfying. Or even Mass Effect 3 that contained similar endings, which didn't serve as a celebration of all the characters you grew to love, like some would have hoped. They had to release entire DLC for that. And with that ending, players may have been left feeling there was more story to tell. To be honest, there's always more story to tell after seeing an ending. But with a concrete ending, you can appreciate the book in its entirety, whether you liked how it ended or not. With Last of Us 2, you can look back and notice the amount of fury that Ellie had in search of her revenge, while also seeing she was doing it to somehow cope with how she felt so helpless when she couldn't protect someone she loved. And to Mass Effect 3, understanding that there is no perfect choice. Sometimes you're given the hand that is dealt and move and hope you're making the best decisions. Or Minecraft's ending where you overhear a conversation of two mysterious beings talking about how you have the potential to do or become anything you set your mind to. Or the Hi-Fi Rushes, where the story tries to tell you if you rock to a groove that's true to you, with a couple of friends, real dreams can change the world. And if you lose the human part of that dream, where does that leave you? This goes further into what I mean about the appreciation of the games. It's so that you can see and hopefully understand the messages that are being told through said game. The reason why I tell people to play multiple types of games in many of my videos and do my coverage of the All for Growth video game draft and Djinnsenng news is so that you can expand upon the world you think you know and understand. What I'm trying to say is the developers of these games put something in them for you to see, whether it's their hard work, their passion, or their own answer to the sum of our experiences. By finishing one game, you can move to experience another, realizing you have an entire world of games to explore with different pockets of knowledge for you to take in. It's my belief that by playing different games to their endings, you broaden your horizons. That when you encounter these new experiences, you can use it to be inspired to create something new and change how you treat others for the better. If you don't experience anything, you'll never realize how big of a world you can have or see the potential of what it can become. I'm not saying to go out and finish every game known to man, because like I said before, the main reason for unfinished games is the lack of time we have to play them. I'm saying to keep moving forward by starting to close the book to one amazing story. There are some things you can only learn at the end of a good journey. And hopefully while everyone else is in their own dark corners of the world, taking in those pockets of knowledge, we'll see your creations and see what you want to show us as well. Thanks for watching.